And as needy as we are for calls this week, if God does want to call into the show and say hi and...
although we're likely to have James calling in to pretend that he's God.
Right. Or that guy from Real Genius.
Well, see, here's somebody who says he can tell us why there's a God. Is it Charles?
I am God.
Are you?
Charles, hi, God.
You know, you really could get a call from God. I'm just sitting here kidding, but boy, wouldn't you be shocked. Tell me why you think there is no God, and then I'll tell you why I think there is a God.
Do you believe in leprechauns?
No.
Why not?
There is no documentation that's 2,000 years old that has withstood the test of time.
So you think a belief is justifiable just because there's ancient books that talk about it? So how do you disregard?
I guess you would be willing to believe in, like, what are some of those things in the Odyssey?
Well, that's what I was saying.
What I'm asking you is why do you feel so firm there is no God? Is it just simply because nobody's ever shown you that there is?
Okay, there's two things, and I'll address both of them. First of all, atheism is the lack of a belief. However, I do go farther than that, and I actually believe that there is no God, so I can answer your question. The reason I believe there is no God is the same reason that I don't believe that there's a tooth fairy or anybody else, because there's or leprechauns and pixies and blah, 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 because I haven't been shown sufficient evidence to justify that belief. The bigger a claim is, the bigger the evidence needs to be to support it.
Okay. You know, do you believe in black holes?
Yes.
Would you have believed in black holes 20 or 30 years ago?
I probably wouldn't have.
30 years ago, I would have been 3. So
well, you get my point.
75 or 100 years ago.
Black holes because scientists are discovering things that indicate that they really exist.
Right. And the time to believe something is when the evidence exists to justify it. Just because we've demonstrated the existence of black holes doesn't mean that the original hypothesis was justifiably believable at the time. Well, if later on, if somebody proves that there's a God, well, of course I'll believe then. I'm not thick.
Well, listen, God is being proved more and more every day with archaeologists and what they're finding. And
really?
That's weird.
Wait a minute. The thing about it, too, is your reasons for not seeing proof in God are gradually going away.
No, they're not.
And as a matter of fact, just the opposite. A lot fewer people believe in God now that so many scientific discoveries have been made than used to believe. I mean,
that's totally incorrect. There are more people believing in God today.
No, actually, there's not.
The largest, nearly universal belief in God.
The largest growing category of religions is those that are none. None of the above. That's the largest growing category. Christianity in the United States is on decline, as are nearly every other religion. Actually, Islam is growing in America, and Christianity is in decline. But general God belief is on the decline, and every reliable statistic shows.
Well, wait a second. You just contradicted yourself.
How?
Islam believes in God.
Yes, the rate of Islam is growing, but the total of God believers is shrinking.
You really think?
I know.
Yes. Now, we're going to have to agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, because one of us has actually gone and looked at the frickin' data, and the other one's just making wild assertions.
I tell you what, refer me to it, and I'll go look at it. Can I get to it online?
Sure. You can go look at any study of religiosity over the last 10 years. Any of them. Go to adherence.com, I think, is one of them.
Say that again.
Adherence.
It's either adherence.com or adherence.org.
ADHERENTS.
Okay.
Go to look at any peer-reviewed study of religiosity in the United States, and you will see that God belief is on the decline and has been for a decade or more.
Okay.
And not just in the general population, but I mean, if you go to scientists, it's certainly true that many scientists believe in God. but the rate of believing in God among educated people and people who have studied science, generally the more education they have, the fewer percentage-wise actually believe in God.
And I've just been told it's
What percentage of Americans claim today that they believe in God?
About 80.
It's roughly around 80 to 85.
Listen, that's a lot of people.
I know, and you know what?
The majority.
It does.
You guys are sitting up there bashing it because more people are disbelieving in it.
No, I didn't.
I'll go with 85% any day.
So your only criterion for determining whether or not a God exists is whether or not most people believe so?
If 85% of people jumped off a bridge...
Listen, I have been in hospital rooms and seen people believe on their deathbeds.
Me too.
Okay, I have been...
And what does that prove?
I have been...
I'll tell you what it proves. It proves that when people get really close to death, some of them get crazy and scared and are willing to reach out for anything. It is not any remotely a testament to the truth of the claims, and neither is whether or not 80 to 85% believe it. At one time, everybody believed the earth was flat. The Bible says that there's a firmament. It talks about a literal flood, the four corners of the earth. All of these things, people genuinely believe it. I have no doubt, and never would I claim that people don't believe and don't believe genuinely. I think they do. And 80 to 85% of them believe in a God. I don't believe that that belief's justified. When we started this off, you asked about black holes, and I pointed out that the time to believe something, any claim, is when there's evidence to actually support it. I'm asking, what is the evidence? And I'm not going to be persuaded by 85% of people think so. Well, you know what? That doesn't matter. What matters is evidence, and this is a huge claim. This isn't just 85% of the people believe that red cars are prettier than blue cars. Right. This is a claim about a transcendent, intelligent creator of the universe who answers prayer and fiddles with things and knew all of this. I mean, that's huge. And you're going to do, 85% of people believe it's good enough. It's good enough for Mama. It's good enough for me.
It doesn't matter the fact that they do believe it. What matters is what reason do they have for believing it. I mean, everybody in the world could believe something, and it could still be an error.
Can you put me back on?
Yeah, you're on.
Okay, listen, both of you guys are wearing clothes. Why? If you don't follow trend, I mean, what percentage of Americans believe that you should wear clothes?
Are you saying that whether or not we wear clothes is equivalent? Would you let me finish?
Yes.
Would you say that whether or not we decide to wear clothes is an equivalent claim to whether or not we believe in a God?
No, but it's...
Then why bring it up?
It's proof positive that you go along with the crowd.
No, actually, it's proof positive that it's a requirement of law that if I go on television, I got to have clothes on.
You're wearing, okay, I got you.
I wear them the rest of the time because they keep me warm, because they're comfortable, because it is a trend.
And even those trends, not being arrested.
Yes, and because I don't like running around naked. But none of that has anything to do with any kind of claim about the existence of God.
Okay, I want to give you a couple of other examples.
Okay.
I'm a Vietnam vet, and I've seen people risking their lives every day where they could die at any time.
You mean like Pat Tillman, the atheist?
No, like many, many Americans. If you look now at the veterans, at the soldiers that are serving in Iraq and Afghanistan, believe me, those people believe in God.
No, not all of us.
I just hung up on you, and if you're still listening, I'll tell you why, because I'm sick to death of this stupid claim about no atheists in foxholes. First of all, I've already said that no matter how many people believe it, that's irrelevant to the truth or relevant to why anybody else should do it. But you don't get to come on here and use the troops that are over there dying, people like Pat Tillman, who are atheists serving in foxholes, ACA members who are atheists over there serving their country, over there fighting in, wars based on lies. You don't get to use the cheap card and try to claim that there's some good justification for that. I don't care how many people believe it.
We get email from soldiers in Iraq at least like once a month, right? Wouldn't you say?
Easily.
Saying...
and as a veteran myself, I'm offended and sickened that you would even stoop to try and do that. So you don't get to talk anymore today.